I think the hardest part of last week's episode was trying not to come.
Oh.
Welcome to Hot Graves and Omens.
I struggle as well.
The deafening silence that followed
Do you
that.
struggle with ED?
Taylor, do you struggle with ED? You can
I
tell
do
us.
not.
You
I
can-
didn't after last week's episode. Last week's episode was like the new thing, the hymns thing. You guys know
Yeah.
the hymns?
Dude.
Yes, heard about this? You guys seen this?
Yeah.
Dude.
heard
Are you
about this thing?
Jay
You heard about
Lenoing
this
the
thing?
podcast?
Thing?
No, dude. Okay.
Sponsor us, hymns. I'll get boners all day long.
So I have been putting on like Hulu while I'm grooming dogs just for some background noise.
And that makes you come?
No.
Oh. Okay. I
And
kind of lost them.
I am getting so many fucking ads for hymns.
Yeah.
It's like ad after ad after ad, and I'm like, this doesn't pertain to me.
It's just that
Yeah.
it's that clown from that classic Vine video. He's like, "Want penis enlargement pills?" Just in the gutter.
I just had that because I've been listening to podcasts all day long, so I just had that because every single fucking ad that comes on is like, did you know that 50% of men over the age of 40 suffer from erectile dysfunction?
Listen,
I get the same fucking ads.
we're gonna hold on. Let me get through the intro and we can talk podcast in a second. Hello, welcome to Hot Graves and Omens. My name is Fred Stewart, and with me, as always, my lovely co-host.
Hi, it's me.
Hi,
It's
Tay.
Taylor. Hi.
And with us running cameras and sound, remotely, actually previously recorded, Mr. Marty Cowick.
Did you know that people suffer from no boners?
That, yes, absolutely.
Marty's got a one-track mind right now.
I will say, though, the kings of doing ads for podcasts are Matt and Shane from Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good.
Because they just do it one take. It's none of this professional, like how, like I shouldn't say how we do it, but we've done ads. We had the atmosphere, we had the mystique, and it's like, Haunts, Graves, and Omens is a supernatural podcast. And it's very like spooky. And then they're like, your fucking dick don't work. And I just love it. I just think it's the best. And Shane Gillis, if you're watching, please beat me to death. So some news.
Took a turn.
Got some news. Over in Boston, U.S. Customs Border Protection agents' dog sniffed out some unusual luggage.
Is this Boston, Massachusetts, Fred?
This is Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yes.
What
continue.
Boston did you think it was?
I don't know, like Boston, like fucking Iowa or something.
No. This comes from AP News. Basically, the dog alerts to the bag. So Customs Border Protection agents seize the bag, get the passenger, try to go find out what's going on inside this thing. They open it up to find a series of mummified skulls inside the bag, along with a bunch of other mummified pieces.
You're forgetting to say where the skulls are from.
Yes, they're from Africa, and they were full of mummified monkeys.
Ooh.
It's a pretty grisly little photo, but the passenger returning to visit from the Dominican Republic of the Congo reported the luggage contained dried fish. An inspection at Boston Logan Airport revealed dead and dehydrated bodies of 4 monkeys, agents said. The traveler said that he brought the monkeys to the United States for his own consumption.
He was going to eat dried monkeys?
So raw or minimally processed meat from wild animals is sometimes referred to as bush meat, is banned in the United States because of the threat of disease.
Yeah.
Marty like that bush meat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they they seized the items. In total, it was about 9 pounds of bush meat.
Wow.
And they were sent off to be destroyed by the U.S. Center of Disease Control.
And after my last Hims pill, I now have 9 pounds of bush meat.
We're not sponsored.
I'm just kidding.
We're not sponsored.
I'm trying to get us a sponsor, bro.
Yeah.
Apparently, Marty is sponsored by him.
Listen, if anybody out there would possibly want to sponsor us, I hope to God's Liquid Death. Liquid Death, I would do disgusting things for your ad campaign. Disgusting things. On camera.
He might.
It's not a might.
I won't.
I will. So, another story from AP. Police in England say a drunk driver did the right thing after doing the wrong thing. Emergency dispatcher received an unusual call before noon Monday when a motorist reported that he was drinking and driving and said he doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh my God.
Reported the North Yorkshire police. And I'm going to read this most British officer thing. possible. He goes, "Man calls the police to report that he is a drunk driver. That's not every day that this happens. So anyway, they fucking they rolled up on him. He's a 52-year-old man. Do a breath test, and he was 3 times over the legal limit.
Oh my god.
He was arrested and held in custody until being processed through court. So I'm gonna save probably my best story for last. So we're gonna go with a terrifying story, but one that works out in the end.
Oh.
It was in Manchester. So a woman fell into a dumpster while throwing out her garbage. Classic blunder.
Classic.
I do that every day.
So she was later rescued from a trash truck that had compacted the contents while she was inside.
Ooh, that'd be fucking.
Jesus.
That's like fucking on like what is the Star Wars? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, the compactor.
It's literally just like that. So luckily neighbors heard her screams, and the trash compartment was equipped with a camera. The driver spotted the woman's being stuck inside, called 911. By then the driver had reportedly compacted the garbage up to 4 times, reported by the Manchester Fire Department. Rescuers used a basket ladder to reach the top part of the truck and lift her out. By then, she was standing, talking, yelling, but was not alert enough to answer questions. She was taken to a hospital, and as far as we know, that she's doing okay. And this next story, I always talk about how, in this day and age, the world is a scary place.
Yeah.
Is this your final story?
No. I have one
Okay.
more after this.
Okay. Because I have one that I want to read. I sent it to you the other day.
Yes, I just don't know how recent that one is because I heard that one before.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just saying that they
Well, we can
are being arraigned in March.
Oh, perfect. Then we can bring that up. So, I always talk about how, the world's an unsafe place, and there's no place that's more unsafe than the state of Florida.
Exactly.
Now, you guys ready for this?
I am.
Tampa, Florida. Okay? Cesspit. Disgusting.
I think
Wait,
that's where
cesspool?
that dude ate that dude's face on bath salts.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's either that or Orlando. It's one or the other.
It was definitely in Florida.
It was absolutely in Florida.
Well, considering the headline is usually, and I think for that one it was, Florida man eats man's face. I'm gonna say it took place in Florida.
Yeah. I'm ripping on Tampa specifically because I have a friend who lives in Tampa and he watches the show. So fuck you. But a wayward kangaroo was corralled safely by the sheriff's deputies Thursday after it was reported hopping around the pool area of a Florida apartment complex.
Where the fuck did he come from?
a private owner.
Okay, the bath salts thing was in Miami. Sorry.
Oh wow, we were both wrong.
Yeah.
But so basically, there's this fantastic footage, and I urge you guys to go watch it. But the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office released a video from the helicopter of the kangaroo hopping through the complex. Officers get on scene, and the radio traffic is the funniest thing ever because they go like 4, 3, 2. They go for control, and they're like, there is indeed a kangaroo. Like it's like hopping around. They get it inside the pool area. And the deputies were able to figure out the animal's owner and reunite them after checking its proper registration. The agency said on Facebook, no injuries were reported, and kangaroo is doing just fine, and probably just wanted to relax by the pool.
I think honestly the most shocking part is that it was legally registered.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, like, how many people have an animal that they shouldn't have?
That's a good point. Marty, I want you to tell your story, and then I'll tell my story because mine's the bomb.
Okay. Well, I don't know exactly how long ago this happened, but this, I'll just read it. From Colorado, 189 dead. Well, let me go to my camera. Sorry. In Colorado, 189 dead bodies found rotting in Colorado after couple who offered eco-friendly funeral services spent all the money on cars, trips, and cryptocurrency.
That's pretty good. Cryptocurrency. Yeah. So apparently that's from November.
And
they're getting arraigned in March?
In March.
Oh,
They'll
wow.
be arraigned. Okay, so the bodies were left in an unrefrigerated room infested by bugs. It gets worse. The remains the families received was allegedly just bags of mixed concrete and not the actual ashes.
No fucking
Holy
way.
shit.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing about this story and being like, That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Sheriff's got some crazy ears.
But when the authorities searched the property, the floor was filled with liquid, with the liquid of human decomposition.
Ugh.
That's disgusting. But yeah, they're facing more than 200 charges and will be arraigned in March.
Great. Now all those detectives can never have chili ever again.
And they were returned to nature, burial, and cremation. Literally returned to nature. It's like
That's
Nothing
so
more
gross.
natural than rotting inside of a
yeah.
room with 189 other bodies.
Yep.
That's
Just returning to nature.
Yeah.
Returning to nature. 189, almost 200 bodies in a room just rotting is
Yeah.
That sounds
the smell
awful.
alone.
Ugh.
That's gonna have to be like a fucking. They're gonna like just condemn that entire building.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I made the joke that my story is the bomb, and we come to surprisingly the place that would make the most sense that somebody would have this. We go to Bellevue, Washington.
Yeah, no.
Where an inert rocket type used to carry a nuclear warhead has been found in the garage of a home of a deceased resident of Washington State.
That's pretty gangster.
It's something. Bellevue, I mean, it's Second Amendment, brother.
I don't know if a rocket qualifies.
Yeah.
Does it?
And I've been to Bellevue a lot, and it's like a fucking... I mean, it's a tech boom little offset of Seattle, you know?
Yeah.
It's all like fucking Google, Nintendo is there, like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You've been to Bellevue a couple times, seen a couple rockets, you know, the
Yeah.
usual.
I've seen a couple bells and a few.
The huge.
So Bellevue Police Department responded Thursday to a report of a military-grade rocket in the garage of a home in the city across Lake Washington from Seattle. Police said an Air Force museum in Dayton, Ohio had called Wednesday evening to report an offer to donate the item, which the neighbors said it had purchased at an estate sale. So of course EOD responds, and they fucking shut down everything, evacuate everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just a rusting Douglas Air 2 Genie, previously an MB-1, an unguided air-to-air rocket that is designated to carry a 1.5, it's like KT W-25 nuclear warhead.
Jeez.
There was no warhead attached. There was no rocket fuel. Essentially, it's just a big-ass tube that was to carry a big-ass bomb.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
essentially harmless, but could
Used
be-
for pure
yeah, yeah.
evil?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's recap last
So.
week.
Do you want to recap or do you want me to recap?
Go ahead.
Okay, I can do that. So last week we talked about a man who was abducted by some aliens. And at first it was pretty fucking scary, right?
Yes, he gets abducted out of his. He gets out of his car.
Yeah.
Magic carpet comes down, grabs him, pulls him in. He gets fucking strip searched.
I mean, he was just naked, and then they probed him.
He was naked in his car before he got
You know,
before he got abducted.
He just like goes, finally my Buick. Just rips his pants up.
So they like probe him. They do all this funky science shit, and then they put him in a room with some his neatly folded clothing.
Uh-huh.
His neatly folded vehicle.
They just
Sir, your vehicle.
folded it into a square.
Sir, your vehicle.
They fold. You know how you fold T-shirts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Put the design out. That's what they did to his car.
Yeah. They're like, here is your cube. Please put that in water. It'll expand. You're going to need a lot of water. We recommend a lake. What happens after it turns into a regular vehicle in the lake is your problem.
It's not mine. And then he meets an alien woman, a small alien woman. She's like 4 foot something.
If I may interject for this part.
Go ahead. Say it so very eloquently.
So basically, he stands there and he's like, "You're really pretty. You're really pretty." And then she's like, "You want to fuck on my space futon?" And then he
It came out of the wall.
that comes out of the wall. And then he came on the thing that came out of the wall in a matter of strokes. His words. And then he was like, did I rock your space world? And she's like, I'm pregnant.
And this story is brought to you by Hims.
If there was a fucking time for an ad, it would have been right there.
Yeah.
You want to bust nuts and aliens?
Hims can help.
Do you want space boners?
Hims can help.
Can it? Can Hims give me space boners?
I don't know. Send him a DM.
Dear Hims.
Did you know
how
that
do
most
give space
aliens
boners?
last 2 millennia before they come? Well, Hims can help you.
Did you know that pigs ejaculate for 30 minutes? Do you want to feel like a pig?
Hims can help.
So stupid. This is the dumb dude. We're never getting an ad. It's so funny. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, as you put it, he met an alien woman. They banged, and then she.
And then she said, "I'm pregnant."
And, yeah,
She goes, I am carrying 2 sons. One will be called
Lip
Mada, and the other one called Madonna.
Just like
Madonna.
not like Madonna, like
Vogue, like the Vogue. Am I
no.
doing it right? Vogue. Am I voguing?
You gotta.
Am I voguing right now? Is this voguing? I feel very Vogue-esque. Am I voguing? How do I look voguing?
Excuse me, Google. How to Vogue.
God damn it. All right, I'm looking into it.
So technically, Kabbalah said, I will have 2 sons from our union, and that's it. That's it. Oh my god.
How do Vogue?
2 sons.
2 sons. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, so we come back to him not coming on her back. So, dude, come on.
Yeah.
It's low-hanging fruit. Like this dude's balls on the space futon. All right. All right.
Yes, points.
I'm done.
Ding.
Just like
We need a points sound. Ding.
Yeah.
Do we?
You want to give us a nice crisp one?
Ding.
Perfect.
There it is.
It's gonna be like Charles' farts all over again.
Oh no.
We just had that.
Ding.
Ding.
Did we show the weekly confessions with Charles on the doc or on HGO?
No.
Can we show that real quick before we start? If you wouldn't mind.
I don't mind.
Yeah, let's just watch real quick. Before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know that I created this, and this is absolutely 100% Charles. So
And this is on the doc.
this is on
for
the
Charles
doc.
this week.
So this is an ad for the doc.
Weekly confessions with Charles. He's here to confess his sins.
It's me.
I'm not.
Taylor loved it.
She loved it.
That's top tier content.
Top
Can I
tier.
put my headphones back in, or
Yeah.
am I gonna be bombarded with?
You don't find farts funny?
Not really.
I thought you were a patriot, dude.
I'm not a patriot.
Let's see. Do commies hate farts?
Okay.
What happens when a communist trusts a fart? They get skid marks. All right. Anyway,
Great.
let's actually get into the episode.
All right.
I've wasted 20 minutes.
That helps because I don't know how long this episode's gonna be because it's about half in between, but we'll see. So, while Tasca was still reeling from the information he was just given about the fact that he was going to have 2 children with an alien woman, Kabbalah had already recovered from their intimacy and began to redress.
She was not impressed.
Like I've heard these.
Tasca's
I've heard
like-
these space these Earth bipedal creatures are quite
stallion in nature. They're known for their endurance, and he's already come. She's like, and he's like, did I rock your world? And she's like, you rocked my space world. Just putting on her clothes again. She's like, yep, yeah, that was something.
Certainly something. So Tasca did the same, and she began to get in front of him and said to him that he would convey a message from them to the people of Earth. Still surprised by this sudden recruitment and unsure about his memory, he said to Kabbalah, "Lady, on leaving here, my mind will fail, and I will remember only a few excerpts from the message." At this, Kabbalah pressed another button on a bizarre device attached to the wall, because they're always attached to the fucking wall.
Yes.
And this opened a door to a much larger room, which the two both went into. There, in this seemingly empty room, was a kind of device that Tasca would describe as a kind of diadem, which is like a crown or a tiara or a headband of some sort, which Kabbalah proceeded to remove from the console and place on Tasca's head. He's a pretty, pretty princess.
I'm a pretty, pretty princess, and I feel so pretty. I wish that I could not bust in 3 strokes with an alien. Is that how this works?
No.
Oh.
It's not. It doesn't make you tell the truth.
It's not a truth. It's a wish.
I mean, you're admitting things.
Just like a wish from hims.com. No.
We were sponsored all this time.
Yeah, dude, that'd been such a funny bit. No, please. Please, somebody.
So as Tasca wore the object, he could see a series of semicircles that covered the object. Each was green, yellow, and red in color, and each was 3 centimeters in height. While Tasca stood there with the bizarre device now on his head, and Kabbalah approached and proceeded to fiddle with the contraption, saying, "With this on your head, you see me twice, listening to the message, and it will never come out of your memory again." It's a memory tiara.
Okay.
How's everyone feel about that?
I want one of those.
I want one too.
So Kabbalah, seemingly happy with how this tiara was placed, began to state her message for all of mankind, stating, "Warning of the Kabbalah messenger from the world of Agali to all peoples of Earth. We must deactivate weapons of war capable of destroying any kind of life here. In addition to its appalling and deadly devastation, a total nuclear war will bring the Earth out of its celestial path and cause serious disturbances to the life of neighboring worlds, some in dimensions that the terrestrial man is unaware of. The political, economic, and financial domination of nations over nations must be abolished. Imperialism contradicts the right of equality of peoples and constitutes a new and solitary modality of enslavement. The essence of human life and its natural reproductive functions must be preserved in nearby stars and in other unattainable to the present man. The life coming up from the eternal spirit creator of all things, God, reason why it should not be the object, imponderance, experiences, because these will end in irreversible genetic disaster. Under the most rigorous criterion of justice and morality, with a view to solving the social problems resulting in disorderly human proliferation." There's so many fucking words.
A lot of big words.
Cut it down, Kabbalah. Jesus Christ. You couldn't say, maybe stop fighting.
She's like, in the space-time continuum of the 4th dimension of the reticle that is the man, and that is of the earth, and that is of the Zethiel creature, and don't use the nuclear weapons because they'll destroy the space kind. Basically, stop killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been solved in like 5 words.
Yeah. But there's more. I'm going to keep going.
But wait, there's more.
It's copyrighted.
Under the most rigorous criterion of justice and morality, with a viewing to solving the social problems resulting from disorderly human proliferation, organs should be established that by natural scientific means plan and carry out population control and biological improvement programs. It is necessary for man to conquer other worlds of the universe, and there are suitable places for his future immigrations and new sources of energy and substance. But rather he must conquer his own world, unraveling the enigmas that still exist on Earth, at sea, and up in the air, preserving the natural elements of vital imperfections of body, mind, and spirit. It is necessary that when these exhortations are fulfilled, mankind is prepared for the period of extraordinary events that the Earth will stage in a short time. The great events will be foreshadowed by strange telluric manifestations and celestial signs of magnificent splendor and haunting beauty. Masters of supreme wisdom will return to Earth, renew wonderful teachings, and help establish a new political society. The earthly paradise will be reborn, full of light and love. Then, through means and energies sometimes even assumed, man will know the dimensional concave convex of the Earth and will travel to the dimensions, or to the depth of the universe, and will not feel the weariness of time. And as a sublime conquest of human creative captivity, the machine of the absolute power will be put into action, which ingenuity which, among other prodigies, will give mankind the happiest and most haunting vision of its entire life: the resurrection from the dead in the 4X. Warning of the Kabbalah from the world Agali to the peoples of Earth.
So basically he goes, hey, I might have a hard time remembering your message. Can you just run it by me again? She goes, yeah. And then proceeds to say the longest fucking monologue you've ever heard in your entire life.
Dude, I'm so fucking tired after reading that.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was like fucking 6-minute monologue of just her being like, and the thing about the just,
It might have been more like 8 minutes.
After they bang, it's like they're already married. He's just sitting there like, just not listening. It's just going in one ear and out the other. He's like, yeah,
but like,
okay, bye.
Yeah, but it's alien technology, so it's physically going in one ear and physically going out the other.
yeah.
And he's like,
Dude,
you know.
there's a lot going on in that sentence, that fucking monologue. I was trying my hardest to like not. Oh, hi. Look at you. Hi. You're so cute. She's so fucking cute.
Now listen, Mom, tell this story. You want to breathe into the mic? All right. Very faintly.
She's not a heavy breather unless she's panting. She doesn't do the whole like thing in the mic. She just
He's so tired.
He's so sleepy. All right. Upon hearing this message, Tasca was increasingly surprised and interested by the overwhelmingly positive message that Kabbalah had given. However, when she began discussing the resurrection of the dead in the 4X, he had no idea what she meant. Neither the fuck do I, honestly.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about.
What about you, Marty? You know?
I don't know.
What about you, Spirit? You know? All right.
She said, actually, I do know. So after this message was transmitted into Tasca's brain, Kabbalah removed the diadem from his head and returned the device back onto its console. God damn it, my phone screen turned off. Kabbalah stared at Tasca, who began to repeat the same gesture of greeting that she had enacted at the beginning of their meeting, and in a scene similar to Spielberg's Close Encounters of a Third Kind, You're so smart, Spirit. Tasca crossed his left arm over his chest and raised his right hand over his shoulder, mimicking her greeting. Tasca then received a final telepathic response from Kabbalah, which stated, "Peace and love." After this, Kabbalah backed away from Tasca and exited through the door they opened, which as soon as she left, resealed. As soon as she was gone, Tasca felt a feeling of solitude and abandonment from his alien lover.
Alien lover.
My first thought was to say alien waifu, but that's not really.
No, it's pretty accurate.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's my alien waifu.
He did what he did to that alien. Nerds with body pillars could only dream. You know.
Oh yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
It's fair.
I know you say, bro.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when hold on. I lost where I was because I'm so professional. The room, which was once so bright that it hurt Tasca's eyes, now diminished and became completely filled with darkness. So that's cool. They just said, "All right, lights out, time to clock off." You know, like in movies.
Closing time.
Yeah, but like in movies when like someone's just sitting there and they shut all the fucking lights off on them. That's what happened.
Hell yeah.
When this happened, he once again heard several footsteps come towards him, and as he stood there, he began to feel the small creatures that he had encountered while lying in the death state. He was once more terrified, and they were pulling him into another room. When he got to the next room, he heard their voices for the first time, this time in a discernible language. Whether this was oral or telepathic, he wasn't sure. But the beings began to tell him to lie down. It's time for more probing. So as he did so, he could tell that this was the same place that so terrified him that he thought he was dead, yet he proceeded in not stirring from the spot. But he did notice that the temperature of the room began to drop rapidly, and soon he lost all consciousness. Upon waking, Tasca found himself lying on a grassy mound on a rocky hill on the banks of the BR 282 highway, about 1.86 miles to the right of the flyover access of the city of H.G.O. So
Typical.
he just fucking was like, "Yeah, no, I'll lay down. Yeah, no, this sounds relaxing." Fucking gone.
So let me get this story. Let me condense this story down to a matter of a few short words. He gets sucked, he fucks, gets dumped.
Yep.
I did it.
Yep.
Welcome to Hot Scares and Omens.
That's it. That's it. We're done. Half hour in. He summed it up.
Yeah, we did it.
I know. I mean, you know, alien women just want one thing, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah, honestly, dude, it is. And actual women want one thing, and it's absolutely disgusting.
What?
What is that?
To watch a awkward dude fucking alien, and I just think it's disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
Great.
But I mean, if I was there, I'd check, see what's going on. Then I just got nowhere to go. I want a spaceship or whatever. Just saying, like, the opportunity. No. You're
if
so
I had
pretty.
the chance.
If I had the chance to watch an awkward guy fucking alien, I'm gonna say, yeah, probably. Yeah, I would. I think.
Would you,
say, yeah, in a heartbeat, I would for sure.
Yeah, because you go, whoa, that's an alien. Oh, this shit's gross. Oh God. Whoa, it's an alien. Because they wipe your mind.
Great.
He's like, oh fuck, wipe my mind.
Yeah. As he's about to come, just he's like pulls back into him. He's like, again. Not again. Not again. Don't fucking do that. Don't you fucking do that. I got. Listen, you brought this story to a fucking 2/3 of the Doc boys. All right.
I know. It would be worse if Charles was here, so I'm glad he's not for this episode.
Charles would be farting into mics and stuff. Just being like,
I simply just would not have my in-ears in.
Yeah.
At all.
Would help.
So, Tasca stared up at the sky and noticed that several hours had gone by as the sun was now up. When he looked at his wristwatch, which said it was 10:15 p.m., he looked at the position of the sun and he had estimated that it had to have been almost 6 a.m. in the morning.
Damn.
He's just...
And he left the night prior?
So, yeah.
Right?
I mean, you can assume that his...
I had a one-night stand with an alien.
Yeah. I mean, you can only assume that his... I forgot the word watch for a minute and just almost said rotch. As in
Well,
wristwatch combined.
Rotching is what he did to that alien on that futon.
You can assume that his rotch stopped at 10:15, which is probably the time he was at.
I'm gonna show you his rotch wasn't fucking stopping at 10:15. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying, brother? Yeah, you fucking disappointed that alien so hard.
So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? From this, he estimated almost 10 hours had passed from when he first encountered the object. However, when he attempted to move even further, he found, much like when he first entered the craft, his limbs were unable to move. And while he could see and hear well, he was barely able to budge an inch. It took him another 2 hours to regain full use of his limbs.
What did you do in those 2 hours? Just like okay. Oh fuck, I gotta use the hand to start the car.
No, he just laid on the hill.
He just laid on the hill?
Yeah, he couldn't move.
Oh, so he was just like a squirrel comes up and just like, you fucking dead? Just like crawls into his pockets and he's like, no.
No.
There's a large bird coming my way. I see a large bird coming my way. There's nothing I can do about this large bird. I hope that it's an alien.
So, as soon as Tasca could use his limbs again, he proceeded to walk down to the road and walked about 1.24 miles before managing to make it to Electrodes Battistella?
Sure.
Which was being attended by 2 girls. Tasca, at the spot of an initial return to Earth, sorry, that's not, I don't know what the fuck's happening there. It was about 9:30 when Antonio arrived, and he proceeded to call home and tell his family where he was and briefly what happened to him. It was over this call that he heard how his family had found his car abandoned in the middle of a dirt road, and how there was a police investigation into his disappearance. His family had at the time expected him home for dinner at 7 p.m., but after several hours, his family was extremely concerned. So at midnight, all of his family members waited in the living room for him to return. They knew something was wrong, as Tasca usually always called when something would make him late. So Tasca's parents, his wife, and his daughter had called several of the Chapeko police stations in nearby towns to see if he was injured, arrested, or, even possibly dead. I forgot that man had a fucking wife.
Yeah, it's really funny to think of him calling his family And then being like, oh my God, it's like, where were you? We've been so worried. And he's like, hey, you're not going to believe it. I was abducted by aliens. That's why my car was left in the middle of the road. They're like, oh my God, what happened? So, well, they brought me into this room and then they removed my clothes and they probed me and they put me in this other room and then my clothes are folded again. It's like, oh, then what happened? It's like, this is a conversation we're going to have in person.
You know, I honestly don't remember.
All that part's super hazy. I don't know. It was pretty weird. I don't know. I laid on a hill for like 2 hours.
That's pretty
A large bird
Large bird.
kept flying over me. There was that.
But what happened on the ship?
I
don't know.
Is my daughter there? Just gotta check in, make sure she's okay. She's like, why won't you tell me? It's like, well, you're not gonna be a super stoned.
So none of the police obviously had any information on his whereabouts, and began to form an investigation into his disappearance. From 2:30 a.m. to dawn, Tasca's brother-in-law went through countless streets in Chapeko searching for his car or him, and other relatives rushed to his house to see if he had come home. Eventually, his family made their way to the BR 282 highway, where there was a police station, yet before even reaching the station, they saw his car. His car was apparently standing on the dirt road.
Oh.
You know, as cars do.
Just like leaning up against the helper pole smoking. His car's just like,
oh,
it's you.
That I've seen.
Yeah, you guys would not believe what I just saw. Fucking crazy. Just points up to this guy. And you're like, that car's smoking.
And not.
And talking. Lightning McQueen really went downhill.
So rushing to the car, they noticed it was intact and that there was no sign of any sort of assault. They then
or a pepper.
Great.
Yes, points. Ding.
They then proceeded to go to the nearby police station and report their find, where an investigator was sent to follow up on their disappearance. Tasca, realizing he needed to get home, began rushing home as fast as he could. It was upon this sprint down the roadways. He was just fucking running on the road.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Well, because
He's gotta get home.
he's got to get home. I mean, I was just going to wait around.
No, I mean, he could like...
Because that large bird might come back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see what kind of large birds are in Mexico.
How do you feel about hot dogs?
That's a question.
What?
Remember last week a hot dog.
Oh,
Oh, hot dog.
real bad.
I want a hot dog real bad. Yeah, it could have been an osprey. It could have been a green heron.
Double crescent Kimura.
Could be a magnificent frigate bird.
I love frigate birds.
I love me a friggin' bird.
Egrets. Snowy
Boo.
egrets.
Could have been a spoonbill of some kind. Maybe that's the large bird that he saw. I mean, I'm just saying that he didn't say anything about him seeing birds. I'm just assuming that he, at some point, looking directly into the sky,
Saw
not
birds.
being able to move, at least saw a bird.
Probably.
I'm assuming that it was a large bird.
So
And Peter.
So when Tasca was running down the road, just so happened his son Maximiliano happened upon while he was arriving in the city. Maximiliano, seeing how distraught and distressed his father was, realized that he must be suffering some kind of shock and was unable to explain to him what had happened. His family proceeded to take him to the San Antonio Hospital in Chapeko, where he was treated by Dr. Julio Swadatsky.
Okay.
Dr. Carlos King and Dr. Matalazzo. Tasca did not tell the doctors of his encounters, and because of this, The doctors felt that Antonio's symptoms, which included nervousness, restlessness, and elevation of blood pressure, were from an assault that occurred on the road.
Okay.
He assaulted something. Maybe.
Perhaps.
We didn't get details.
What about Pepper?
So Tasca was given a tranquilizer and ultimately sent home. But later that day, when Tasca proceeded,
Gangster, dude. They're like, you need to calm down.
it probably was like a sedative.
Yeah. Well, they said tranquilizer, which made they're like,
I assume
they're like, Tasca, you've had a horrific night, like just truly an awful night. Do you want to get super high?
So my guess
Hey man,
is
why is your
that
dick green?
No, I was. You guys,
you know honeydew melons.
It's a new fashion thing. You wouldn't understand.
I assume that because this story takes place in Mexico, I'm sure that there's like a bit of
Tacos.
Translation differences.
Yes.
I am sure that tranquilizer is just like they gave him some fucking oral sedatives to take. I don't think
They gave him some ketamine.
Yeah.
Special K.
They're like, listen, I know you feel like you just got out of a K-hole, but do you want to go into a K-hole? He's like, yeah.
You know what? Actually, yeah, I do.
I was just in an a-hole. Not even. That's an alien hole.
It's so stupid. This is highbrow comedy. That's what you come to look forward to each week here in Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Yeah. If you hate it and hate me on the show, let me know because I will come back and keep telling my jokes.
Yeah, if you want us to hit Marty more, email us at HGOPodcast@gmail.com.
I don't have anything. You can't like physically hit him, but you can throw that at him if you wanted to.
Be good.
He's just preparing.
I'm not going to throw it at you. I feel like this one actually might hurt.
I don't care.
I know you don't care. I know, but this isn't the doc. I wish I had my Nerf guns. No, you keep talking.
So later that day, when Tasca proceeded to take a bath, his family members noted 2 bizarre V marks on the back of Tasca. When asked what happened, Tasca was unsure, as he was unaware of the mark or its origin. So they returned to the hospital where the doctors examined the wound and determined it was very similar to a burn, but due to its characteristics, they were increasingly intrigued by what it could be. So the doctors kept him overnight, and then in the morning he once more returned home. Yet this was not without medical supervision, as the 3 doctors as well as a 4th medical professional began seeing the bizarreness of the injuries and began to document their findings. One of the medical doctors, as they were doing a preliminary search of the body, discovered in Tasca's thorax specifically, in the front lower end of the outer bone in the xiphoid region on the skin, there was a perfect circle measuring 3 centimeters in diameter, consisting in small red dots. This region was particularly painful, so the doctors began to medicate the area to alleviate the pain. By the next day, the area and similar specks they found elsewhere had almost completely disappeared.
Interesting. What do you call a duck that is also a doctor?
A quack.
A quack. Fuck you.
Great. Great, look what you did. Just set off Jack.
I just want to have a fun joke. Are you?
Why was the duck on the street begging for change?
What?
Why was the duck on the street begging for change?
Oh, there we go. Those are words.
Why?
You know why?
Do I?
Yeah, because he was addicted to quack. Honk the horn. Because he was addicted to quack. There you go.
I
Honk the horn.
I almost said a joke about you hijacking my joke.
Yeah.
That definitely could not have gone on HGO.
Well, if you want to edit out, go ahead and tell it.
I'll tell you later.
I have
It
an
was
idea.
definitely more of the doc material.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but
So anyway, they find these weird circular, like 3 centimeter dots on them.
yeah, and then
then
they just
They just like
Gone.
they just kind of
Next
poke
day.
them, and then the next day they're like, and they just disappear.
yeah.
Interesting.
So in the following days, Tasca began to feel incredibly sick and did not feel hungry, and ate exceptionally little. At 2:15 a.m. on the third day from his trip on the spacecraft, Tasca began vomiting yellow liquid, which had, while doing so, had the same taste of the acidic white berry juice he was given. And after he seemingly cleared his stomach of the fluid, his appetite once more returned.
Interesting.
What about
So-
the white berry juice that he gave? Right?
Great. Thank you, Marty.
Yes, points.
So soon after the reappearance of Tasca, an official investigation began into just what had actually happened to him over the course of those couple hours from the 14th to the 15th. Soon Tasca told his encounter, and with it, ufologists arrived rather quickly onto the scene. One of the first to arrive to study the case was Daniel Rubiso Geis.
Rubiso?
I don't know where you're pointing to. The Geis, Daniel Geis.
Daniel Rubiso, guys.
The president of the Center for Research in Exobiological Research. During his investigation, he generated a full report, including a full interview with Tasca, and proceeded to see if perhaps he was making up the encounter, and sought to see if there were any faults in his testimony.
And you know what Tasca told him? Yeah, Manicam for this. I know what I saw!
Medicam is exceptionally zoomed out.
Yeah. I'm also slouching.
Well, it's just zoomed out.
Slouching is German for slouching.
Great.
El Nino, Spanish for the Nino.
So, he proceeded in visiting sites associated with the encounter to search for any trace or physical evidence potentially left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And after him, ufologist Walter Carl Bueller would go to Chapeko, where he interviewed Antonio and all of his relatives, as well as both of the places of the kidnapping and Tasca's return to Earth, and proceeded at these locations to take measurements of electromagnetism and radioactivity, as well as several photos of Tasca at the locations. From this, Bueller had managed to discover that that 2 people in points near the place of the initial abduction spotted a luminous flying object at the same time when Tasca's abduction took place.
Interesting.
So there's a little bit of, like, third party.
Confirmation.
Yeah, I couldn't think of words. Walter Carl Bueller of the Brazilian Society of Flying Disc Studies. If you didn't know what a UFO was and you just heard Brazilian Society of Flying Disc Studies, I would think it's like a what?
About frisbees?
What's the golf like for frisbee
Disc golf?
Well,
Yeah.
I bet you that's not exactly what it's called. That's probably just the closest fucking English translation they could get to whatever.
I mean, possible. It could. Nope.
Unless it becomes an acronym, then that's what it's called.
I mean, it might be. So he would later publish his findings in SBEDV Bulletin issues 158 and 161, and would state the following on the case. It was gratifying for us at the beginning of one night to immerse ourselves in moments with these great and joyful family, with the great and joyful family of 3 generations of the Tasca, a dozen or a dozen and a half of people, all of them laughing and talking at the same time. Characteristics of the affable genius of descendants of Italians gathered in the center occupied by a garden between their houses, there in the neighborhood of Palmital in Chapecó, Santa Catarina. We tried to interview the 2 girls in the company, Ediba. However, we were unlucky in both our attempts as they were absent from the office. It happened too with 2 more people who would have spotted a luminous object at the time and in the direction of the abduction and return of Tasca to Earth. At the time, we forgot that we would have to indemnify in advance the daily lives of these humble people, working day laborers in the field. However, it was especially gratifying for us to search Tasca's car. We wanted to know if the vehicle had undergone magnetic induction, as it is common in steel parts of our machines when exposed to the intense magnetic fields with which the flying saucers seem to use in their location. Thus, the windscreen wiper blades of Tasca's car indicated 5 Gausses, and similarly, the front and rear bumpers.
Interesting.
So, how much is a Gauss?
How much is a what?
A Gauss.
A Gauss?
Yeah. Of.
Radiation?
Yeah.
It's about 5 Gausses. I don't know. What could I possibly equate that
I don't
to?
know. I'm just how many Gausses is 5 Gausses? Is that a lot of Gausses?
I should have spoken Gauss.
Is 5 Gausses a lot of Gausses? Is what I want to know.
It's more than 4.
That's gauge.
Do you need to know how to spell Gauss? Gausses?
I would have never guessed.
It's about 5 Gausses.
I just want to know if that's a lot of Gausses.
I truly don't have an answer for you. Yes.
Okay.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of Gausses.
I don't know, man.
Here's a little meter.
Oh, it's a little meter.
So it was right here in this range.
I assume that's like.
So that's orange level.
It's an
Which
orange
means-
level of Gauss.
You can buy a fucking Gauss meter at Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, you can also buy guns at Walmart, so it's really not surprising.
It's really not that surprising.
God bless America. Also, I found out that Daniel, the investigator
Yeah.
of this case, wrote another book called Vampiros de Extraterrestriales na Amazonia, which means extraterrestrial vampires in the Amazon,
Ooh.
which is kind of a fucking cool name. It's pretty long.
That's my.
And I usually don't like long names in books, but that's
That's not that.
what they
long.
called me in high school.
No, that is like to the point though for a name. It's not like there's like.
It's not like vampire aliens, and you're like, ooh, gross. It's like, no, dude, in the Amazon. You're like, whoa. Now I know where it takes place. Turns out it takes place in Staten Island, New Jersey. It has nothing to do with aliens or vampires. It's about the crack epidemic.
Oh.
Pretty sad. Pretty sad story.
So. Yes, so the 5 Gausses in the windscreen wiper blades and then the front and rear bumpers. However, it was curious for us to have to observe the inversion, negative and positive, on the right side and respective left. And similarly, there was between the rear bumper and the front bumper when comparing the valves or the values on the same side, it had also indicated 5 Gauss magnetism in a steel cable fixed to the ground in order to support a high voltage pole, which would have been in the vicinity of a flying object. We predict a posteriori that the apparatus some 30 meters from Tasca's car later overflew the car to cause magnetization of the same intensity as the steel cable, which was much closer to the flying saucer. It was also the sons of Tasca and this one person who, in H.G.O, described to us the defect in the ignition of the car of the witness. Before, it took several attempts, up to 10 or more, to get the engine running. However, after the ufological event, for 2 days, the engine immediately responded to the first attempt. But on the third day on, the old defect resurfaced. Still in contact with a magnometer. Tasca's belt buckle and clip, as well as the watch strap in the ufological episode, indicated magnetism of approximately 2.5 Gauss. So that's not a lot of Gauss, but it's more Gauss.
Not a lot of Gauss, but more Gauss.
Than 0.
That's technically true. So from what I understand from Gauss readings is it's the level of radiation around a certain object.
Yes.
And let's see if I can pull this up. Excuse me. And
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what?
if I can pull up a common Gauss reading. So a high Gauss reading would be somewhere between 10 volts or 1. So magnetic fields being like 1 milligauss, and a safe level would be around 5.
Okay, so it's like a safe level, but still like, I
Yeah.
don't know, still, I assume worth something because they've mentioned it, you know?
Yeah, they don't really have like a little statistic of being like, here's common Gauss readings.
How many Gauss are in a car bumper?
How many? Listen, when you buy a car,
You want to know how many Gauss you're getting.
Listen. Here at Hans Graves and Omens Toyota, we promise you that our bumpers are Gauss free. No, we don't promise to.
Our engines are 5,000 Gauss power.
How many Gauss power does this thing have? At least 5.
This thing gets 5 Gauss to the gallon.
Oh shit! Now, where do you go to fill up your Gauss? Space. It's like, oh, of course.
Of course. So after the initial investigation, Antonio gained some notoriety after his abduction. Several newspapers covered his encounter, and he appeared on several radio shows and on TV. Sometime later, he would write a book about his experience called A Man Marked by the Extraterrestrials, which is only available in Portuguese and has not been translated to English.
So, we got any Portuguese listeners out there? Help us out. Let's get spooky together. Email us HGOPodcast@gmail.com.
Just translate the whole book and send it.
Yeah, just get right on that. I'll be sure to send you a crisp high five through the mail.
Antonio would occasionally pop up in UFO literature from time to time, but not nearly as much as other cases like Pascagoula, which we've talked about.
Yes.
And while he gained some notoriety, he never gained much from his experience, but he kept his story, never changing a word until he passed away on January 30th of 2008.
Oh. Rest in peace to our very one pump chump king.
R.I.P. One Pump Chump.
R.I.P. to the homie. That's really fascinating story, Tay. I highly enjoyed that.
Good.
It's very complicated, but it was very fun. I did find a really cool thing though while looking into the David guy.
I don't think it was like super complicated until I got to that monologue, and then I kind of.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty straightforward. It was like, saw an alien, put my eyes on her, gave her the sexy eyes. I dropped my glass a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, you like that shit?" And then she was like, "I'm pregnant." It's that fast.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I did find a really fun thing about aliens in Brazil that I might have to hold on to.
Oh.
That was a whole book that I read, and it comes from MUFON.
Ooh, MUFON.
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 On 3, move on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Move on. Great. We're a fucking cult.
Do you think Mufon uses a loofah when he takes a shower? Mufon.
Well, considering MUFON is an acronym about an organization, I'm gonna assume that somebody in MUFON owns a loofah.
What does MUFON stand for?
Mutual UFO Network.
Oh. I thought you were saying. At first, I thought you were saying Lufon, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a guy, Lufon. And then you were like Buffon, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a guy, Buffon.
Move on.
We just gotta do this. This
With an M.
The amount of brain power this episode has could have been done the same if we just drank a fucking 12 rack of beer and came in.
Yeah.
Because we're all like, you think you him and the alien were in love? You know, then we're like, hot dog real bad. it's
And then we were like, him space boners.
Hims, hit us up. We'll run an ad for you on the cheap. I just want to do it just so I can talk about space boners.
I think that was a fun little episode, though.
Yeah, man. Good job. Up top. All right. So, all right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I don't really have much of anything to really. Oh, actually, never mind. That's still a lie. I totally have things to promote. New MFA record coming out March 29th. Doing a live show in Portland, and I'm going to be joining the MFA boys to go tear it up for a song. Very excited. Be there, be square, and get fucking schlitzed with me. Go support our friend Joey Edwards at edwardsartanddesign.com or Joey Edwards on Instagram. Go
The
check
E's are 3s. Don't forget that.
The E's are 3s. Go follow his twitch.tv/Joey Edwards. Again, the E's are 3s. And you can follow me on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted. You can follow us on Instagram at HGOPodcast. Emails at HGOPodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Haunted. Like, share, and subscribe. Please, for the love of God, share this with your friends, your family. Let them know how much you love to hear about alien just love. And then I started streaming again. I'm fucking back, baby. I'm back. I will be setting a stream schedule here very soon. We're probably going to do like weekly horror games. Be running through some spooky shit. I also do like 5M stuff, so go check that out. And probably be playing with this dummy right here.
Oh, yeah.
So follow me on twitch.tv/IHuntTheHaunted and pass it off there.
Hi, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. It's right there. I don't got much going on. You can follow our dog at Spirit the Turf. She's fucking passed the fuck out right now. Otherwise, I would bring her up to say hello. But she is. Are you alive down there?
Yeah, she's fine.
Hi. Good morning.
She's in a K-hole.
It'd be like that.
Mr. Cowick.
You can follow me on Instagram at Ghetto Feather. Follow the MFA at the Motherfuckers of the Apocalypse on Instagram. Check out the new album art that was made by our very own Fred Stewart.
Yes, sir.
And we released the album art online, so go check it out.
Yeah, very proud of it. It's a fun little thing. It's been a long time since I was able to design some album art, and I get to do it for my little babes, my little guys. Go check out the latest episode of The Doc. I got to put the new one out. I was a little drunk and didn't edit the other one. But until next week, we have a fucking heavy hitter next week.
Next week?
And I get to talk about my favorite, least favorite phenomenon. Well, not really phenomenon, but series of time.
Oh.
Let's see. Devil anxiety. We'll leave it at that.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
Yeah, trying to figure out what those two words mean and how they work together.
I know what they mean. I just don't know how they work together.
Yeah, it's just different words for those two things.
Okay.
But remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And there's a large bird a large bird coming.
And fuck you, San
And
Diego.
it's coming.
Just kidding.
And I want a hot dog real bad. All right. Bye.
But
Okay, bye.